academically and athletically. I feel like this year, every board meeting, we brought forth a new group of students to kind of celebrate in the conference, and that's a huge thing. So I'm just gonna read off the 9 different things. We've got mathlete, second place, first year, athletic boys and girls soccer in the South Suburban Conference, 7th grade boys, first place basketball in the regular season, 8th grade boys, third place finish in the tournament, Division II cheerleading ranking out of 3 divisions, 7th grade girls, first place in basketball during the regular season, 8th grade girls, third place finish in the tournament, third place overall in the declamation tournament for the conference at Richards, and then Division II in the band festival out of 3 divisions. So just a lot of celebrations at Findlay and our students and what they've accomplished. So we're really proud of them. One area that we're continuing to grow with is our team teaching. It's something that we've done a long time at Findlay. But you know, as you know, we've struggled in the area of being able to hire special education teachers, and we've had new teachers coming in. So building those relationships and those shared teaching practices is something that we're continuing to grow with. But we've had many celebrations in that area as well.
Thank you, Mr. Youngberg. And Mrs. Stone.
This year, after having 2 years now of teaching, our first year of special ed teaching, it's really built up a team environment.
Yeah, hello.
It's really built up a team environment in our building, more than we've ever seen before. We've had collaborative teams in the grade levels, but now infusing special ed, and we can all right into those teams. It's the collaboration, the problem solving, the brainstorming that they have found within themselves, within their own teams, is really powerful. And then in the departments as well, it's just something that we're excited about. And you see it in the climate of the building. You see it in how people are engaging with each other. People that maybe wouldn't have had connections to each other in the past are now connected in a different way. And it's all to the benefit of the kids. So we're really proud of continuing to build on that.
And then one thing that we're looking forward to continue to grow is we've been tracking our attendance and our tardy data more on kind of an admin level or within the classroom, where the teachers are the ones really reaching out and entertaining. But this year we started having our social worker and school counselor reviewing that information as well. So that way, hopefully, when the students transition off a grade for next year, the teachers can really hit the ground running, knowing that these are the kids we want to work with, build those relationships. And so hopefully we can see some improvement in their tardies and their absences. We know a lot of times it's out of our little hands, especially. So what can we do to place to get them in school and get them there on time versus when we start the year and we're waiting and then the teacher doesn't realize it until it's October and we've already lost a month and a half to school. So what can we start doing now to lay the groundwork for the beginning of next year?
Thank you. Any questions for the admin? All right, thank you, everyone. All right, so I'm going to start 5.1, the PTA update. We are excited. Some of these things I can't believe I'm saying already, but May 29th is the end of the year bash from 6 to 8 p.m. That will be over at Ridge Lawn. I do know there is a dunk tank, which I've already been requested to be in. So hopefully my hair holds up okay that night. We also are excited. It sounds like we have parents who want to be part of the PTA moving forward. They have had the same board for 2 years now, and that's kind of the maximum that they can be on there. We've actually had 4 or 5 people who have stepped up and want to be part of that. And so we're excited to see who that's going to be. They're going to vote on it at one of the next elections. So really things seem to be moving in a good direction for the PTA. Enrollment report for this month totaled 1,521 students. That is 5 up from last month, and we're up 59 students from last year. And as I say it every time, I keep hearing in other districts enrollment tends to be going down. We are seeing a lot of our families who are moving in here. Vacant positions and possible staffing needs. We're really looking at filling positions for next year. We're looking currently pretty hard for a bilingual teacher as well as special ed over at the junior high. We've had, and I think the principals would agree that we've had a really good run here with hiring. Like we get them through the paces, and then I'd say we're at about an 85-90% acceptance rate right now, which we have not seen always in the past. So that's been great to see. Next up, we have 8th grade graduation. This year's graduation will be Wednesday, June 4th at 7 p.m. over at Richards High School. If you are planning on attending, please let Annette Robertson, the secretary at Findlay Junior High, know. Her email is there. Please let her know by May 30th. 5.5, we have the Triple I Annual Conference at November 21st through the 23rd. They are already opening registration by June 2nd. So if you can let either myself or Lori know, really by the end of this month, May 28th, if you are planning on attending, so we can take advantage of the early registration rate. Next, 5.6 is consideration of non-binding class sizes for the 25-26 school year. If you remember, I talked to you a couple months ago. We've really kept the classes pretty steady since I've been here, but we've noticed second grade, 3rd through 5th would be 23 through 28, and 6th through 8th would be 3rd through 5th would be 23 through 28, and 6th through 8th would be 23 through 30. So the other grade levels are staying the same, but we would make that adjustment. I did not receive any other feedback this year like I have in the past, so I don't have anything to share with you.
Can you say those numbers again, please?
Yes, pre-K through second would be 17 to 23. 3rd through 5th grade would be 23 through 28. And 6th through 8th would be 23 through 30. Okay. All right, 5.7 is a lot of contracts that we we'll be asking the board to approve. Some of them are repeats that we've done for a long time. We have Diopath, which manages our higher up IT services. So ones that our own team can't always get to or don't have that ability to do. We also have the Dreambox MOU. Remember, we talked at the last meeting that they are going to be working with our students and our staff to figure out what problems are like really gain their interest, what ones aren't working so well. So we just wanted to make sure the board knew that we were going to move forward with that. We have the Easter Seals Illinois Autism Partnership Coaching. We did have them this year for that one, and we had shared that with the board, but we've been very happy with the services they provided, and we are looking to double the amount of coaching. So that contract is now over the $25,000. It's in the $37,000 range. So we're going to be recommending that we approve that.
Can I
Yes,
interrupt?
yes.
Can we go back to Dreambox? Are
We can.
they giving us like some type of incentive? or-
It's not, if you could share what the incentive is.
I remember we were like negotiating here.
Yeah, so they're, they still, in the contract, it says that they will give us, not next year, because we already have that purchase, but they will give us, access to Dreambox for the classrooms that are going through the, the opportunity. So it's currently 3 classes at Ridgelawn and 3 classes at Central. So those classes will be free and they will get access. And then we have to determine if we want to continue with Dreambox now overall, then we would not, that would not be included or would be subtracted from our overall. That would be for the 26-27 school year.
Good question. And then the last one I have is the 5-star taxi contract. This is for additional special education transportation. Oftentimes we have to find additional transportation when they're for private offsite facilities. So this is a retroactive improvement for 2 of our, I think it's 1 student now, Carrie, for 5-star. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, perfect. So we're looking to approve that. Any questions on the contracts? All right, I have no other this evening, so I'm going to pass it over to our curriculum director.
6.1 summer school update. So we're in the final stretches of making final plans for summer school. If you remember, we've talked about summer school since December. We were in, or January, maybe we were in the Ridge Central gym at that time. So we invite about 10 students in going into kindergarten through 5th grade, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's 1 class. So the building secretaries and administrators have been working really hard to get parents to commit after they received that invitation. So we're working on some final numbers for rostering. We're about 75% of our families have committed to summer school. And so we're looking to get the rest of the 30% so our rosters are full. And I'm meeting with the staff tomorrow. We go over a lot of the logistics and guidance for them curriculum wise. So we meet for an hour just to kind of go over everything and make sure they're prepared from the staffing point before the students come in on June 10th. Hopefully we can communicate to families final commitments before or around Memorial Day. So a couple weeks. It's gonna be a fast turnaround. And then 6.2, I do have another. As you're all aware, you've probably been hearing AI, artificial intelligence, is very prevalent in our
world, also in our schools. And so, we are doing a lot of work on AI behind the scenes, but we need to continue to make that more policy procedure, you know, embedded in teacher trainings and things like that. So we're looking to schedule all of that for next year. And making sure that we have next steps in place and that we're, you know, thoughtful on how we're gonna roll out that information. So wanted to share that with the board, that that's up and coming, and you'll hear more about it over the next several months. And also celebrate that some of our staff is very eager to get started in it. And we actually have one of our librarians here at Finley Junior High, Erin Stapleton. She actually attended a full course and became a trainer for AI implementation in schools. She just finished and got her certificate on that. And she's putting together a list of webinars for staff to participate in. So she's really going to be a part of that team. You know, the Smart Lab teachers at the elementary have also been very eager to learn more about it and start working through things. So it's been a positive, and hopefully will continue positive as we roll it out in the district.
Thank you, Mrs. Notnagel. Yeah.
Safe work on AI, what do you mean, like implementing it into the curriculum, like to teach kids how to use it responsibly, or like for the staff? Or
Both.
Okay.
Yep, yeah, so proper usage, age restrictions, policies for using it, staff using it to better differentiate, and making sure that we're doing that in the proper ways and that we're using the right resources, making sure that staff understand privacy, because it's you know, something that we need to consider for, you know, student privacy, staff privacy reasons as well.
Is the middle school seeing a lot of that right now? Like, are the teachers complaining about Chat GPT or?
No,
Okay.
not too much. No, they're more worried about the word predictor in Google Docs.
Mm.
You know, so if you start to type and it finishes your sentence, it's kind of like an AI. So some of the teachers have shown concern about that predicts what students will say and how much of that predictor is really what they're submitting. But we're lucky enough through the HMH resource, and into literature, we have a program called Writable, which is where they submit a lot of their written work. So it's not through a Google Doc. But we don't want to also deter that, because as adults, we sometimes use that predictable predictor. So we want to make sure that they're using it and then making sure they're going back, proofreading it, and, you know, teaching students those skills to have, we call them soft skills, to be able to think about their work and not just let AI or a robot do it for them. But we haven't heard much.
And now even when you just type in Google, I mean, it automatically gives you an AI answer. So it's very difficult to, like, if we were gonna try and block it and go Guardian, it's almost impossible.
Yes, right.
It's one thing to specifically block ChatGPT, but it's not just ChatGPT anymore. So, I mean, usually teachers, I mean, and from my experiences, I can just tell by diction. If it's like the way that they sequence word and word choice, so teachers will recognize it when they see it, but they're getting more creative. So we definitely talked about it when we did the handbook, putting policies in place. So that is in there. And hopefully we can teach kids how to use it in a better way than just having it write your whole essay.
Yeah. So we'll get a committee together, we'll create some documents, obviously the board will be updated throughout the whole process. We're excited that there's staff that are definitely eager for it, and willing to kind of be those pioneers through the work as we get established within the district.
Any other questions for Mrs. Notnagel?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Picciolini, you are up next on 7.0.
Okay, 7.1 is our summer electronic benefit transfer program. And if you recall, this time last year, the U.S. Department of Agriculture made this program permanent. And what it does is it entails lower income families to receive $100 or $120 to feed their families over the summer. Even though we are a national school lunch program, only those individuals that are direct certification are automatically enrolled. Now, that to be said is if you're not automatically enrolled, you can also work with the Department of Human Services to do an application. It doesn't mean you are not eligible. And we will be sending out communications to our families, both in next week and then in the first week in June to make them aware. And then the second thing,
Sorry, Kathy, I have a question
Of
about
course.
that. When you say you're gonna mail out to the families, are you mailing out to the families who are eligible so that they know that these cards can be used, or to everybody?
It will be to everyone. Illinois, State Board of Education does a wonderful job, providing, school districts with information. Because even though the program is with the USDA, it's in collaboration with ISB. And so every family will get a notice saying, those who are eligible, and then if you are not eligible, it will provide instruction on how to potentially become eligible for the benefits. Okay, 7.2, lunch tables at Ridge Central. Over the past couple of years, we've been kind of piecemealing, some tables and chairs that have, broke. They're several years old, and what we have to remember about lunch tables at Ridge Central, the gym, doubles as the lunchroom. So those tables go up and down twice every day, and they see a lot of wear and tear. And I went with Dr. King over to a neighboring school that has these tables that we're looking to purchase. And I could put them up with 2 fingers. So I'm very confident all our custodians could put them up as well. And unfortunately, they are very expensive because we need the space in that MPR to double as the gym. So we do also have to buy 4 wall cabinets, because once they put them in the cabinets and they lock, but then they have a wonderful space. So we are looking to get that approved so we could have those for next year. And then everyone's favorite, 7.3 is the tentative amended budget for this school year. Like I share every year at the beginning of the year, we put together our best estimate of our revenue and expenses, and then life happens, and this time of the year, we make our adjustments. And the good news is we are increasing both our revenue and expenses in the amount of about $500,000 this year. And the reason is, since we have favorable fund balances, the Worth Township Treasurer's Office, who invests our fund balances, just got really, really great rates of return. So we're increasing our revenue, our budgeted revenue by about 500,000 to give us $29.3 million. And what we thought would be fiscally responsible would be to use that additional 500,000 to pay off a portion of the Eisenhower debt that will be due in full sometime next year. So those are our intentions. So the budget is already put on display at the district office, and then we will ask the board to approve the tentative and then the amended budget at the June meeting. Any questions on that? Okay, and actually, I do have another, just like I said a few minutes ago, that we plan the best we can. As soon as we put this document into print and that we finalized our numbers, our 17-year-old John Deere tractor exploded is what the word was. It was, so unfortunately, things happen. And so Wes, who was our maintenance engineer, has already went off and got a quote. It is about $25,000. It is less than the board approved amount, but I wanted to give you the information. And just so important because that tractor is shared between Ridge Central and Findlay, and it does our grass and our snow plowing. So unfortunately, it is a purchase we really don't have a choice to be making, but we will be making that purchase hopefully within the next week or 2.
For another 17 years.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
On a new business?
9.0?
Yep.
New business?
Yeah. You start with 9.1 then, and
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
9.1, potential board action to retroactively display the tentative 24-25 amended budget. Thank you.
Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Ludwig.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Drill. Aye. Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.2, potential board action to approve payment to Vision 21 for staff laptops in the amount of $165,588.50.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.3, potential board action to approve Five Star Taxi and Shuttle Inc. for additional special education transportation.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mr. Medina. Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.4, potential board action to approve annual contract renewal and payment to Dialpath in the amount of $149,918.64.
I'll second. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.5, potential board action to approve payment to Honeywell Building Solutions in the amount of $79,100 for comprehensive mechanical maintenance and fire system test and inspection for the 2025-26 school year. Thank you.
Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.6, potential board action to approve the purchase and payment to PH Design in the amount of $67,207.60 for lunch tables, benches, wall cabinets at Rich Central.
Second. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.7, potential board action to approve the contract with Easter Seals for $37,757.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.9, potential, we
9.8.
want to talk about this
Yeah.
for a minute?
So 9.8 is the potential
sorry.
to approve the 3 part-time library clerk positions. If you remember, we discussed this in study sessions. We've been discussing it for a while. The job description we had shared previously is in there. We were really looking at 2 hours a day for each of the positions to come in and really work through that shelving of books and doing the library work, which will allow our librarians to continue to teach kids, which is what Mrs. Nothnagel had shared. Not sure if you guys have any questions, but I'm very excited for this position. 2 hours a day, yes.
All right, I apologize. 10.8, potential board action to approve the 3 part-time library clerk positions.
I'll second. Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 9.9, potential board action to post the following policies for a first reading.
Yeah, so there is a summary in your packet. There's not a whole lot we don't have any questions we have to answer on this one. It's really law changes, really from Title IX is the biggest one. As administrations keep changing at the federal level, it keeps changing what the Title IX guidelines are. So we're just keeping up with what they are saying we have to legally do.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Rose. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Levitt.
Aye.
And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. Do we have others or meeting reports or informational?
We do not.
Okay, so then 11.1, there's still no others. So we're going to move to 12.0, opportunity for visitors to speak.
Yep. Did we have anyone, Mrs. Spielcheck, to speak today? Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Whatever you'd like to do.
You can talk to us and then Mr.
Yeah.
Dr. Thorns will get back to you.
Yeah. So if you hit right here. Yes. Yeah.
Today and I have a
Okay.
question and they're like, that's actually a question for the board. And I'm
Okay.
like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That provides for wants to ride the water.
Okay.
That actually want drivers, especially in Raymond, do not know what the bike laws are.
Okay.
I actually almost got ran over, like coming back. And I took the sidewalk with my daughter and back roads, going to school, but I'm just wondering if maybe there's a conversation that could be started around an initiative, if other parents want to do the same
Mhm.
thing. I'm a healthy person, I like healthy habits, I like
you know, taking advantage of this nature, of being so close. And, you know, she's going into kindergarten, so that's something I just wanted to kind of make his voice, like, is there a relationship or something we could start with the village, and maybe we should not with the police department, and like getting maybe a designated bike lane, or, you know, something where the parents can also be motivated to also bring their kids to school. You know, like we have the crossing guards to protect walkers, but more so somebody like myself who likes exercise.
Okay.
And then, I heard something about AI, and I had some questions, but I don't know if the board can answer them. No?
So in just our policy during board meetings that we take all the information in that you share. We don't answer them during the meeting, but I'd be happy to set up a meeting with you later this week to kind of discuss all of them. You can also ask them here.
Well, I actually do have a question that I want a solid answer on, and that is basically like, does this school support, I don't even know how to verbalize it, so I'm just gonna try to make it as politically correct and as plain and simple as possible. There obviously in this country is some, contingency around reading materials, especially at young children's ages, as to transgenderism, whether we're going to acknowledge that there's more than a male or female biology species, and there's not. So I just wanted to know, what is the position of this school and this school board in terms of those types of reading materials for young children, and then moving on. And so that's what I want to hear.
Okay, all right.
Is there a place that I find this answer? What is the format, or where do you go? That was basically my question.
All right. If you're good with it, I'd love to set up a meeting. I might even ask Mrs. Nothnagel, our curriculum director, to join us if you're okay with that. Okay. Okay. And today's, yeah, I definitely have lots of availability before then. So, all right. Yeah. And we have all of our policies, but there's not a specific policy for that. So, yep. That's what we can talk about. Yeah. Okay. All right. And you're a parent at Ridge Central, correct? Okay. If you guys could get me her contact information, I'll reach out to you. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Okay, we are at President's Prerogative.
Thank you. Okay, I feel like this is our last official board meeting of the school year.
It is. Yeah.
It is, so, to put on these glasses to see my writing that I wrote down. Okay,
I would also say that I've been very impressed with the school that my daughter is attending pre-K. They have been very accommodating. She entered late. I'm sorry, I don't know if I didn't interrupt you. But I just had to say, like, on a number of occasions, I've had to take my daughter late. And there are things that I noticed in other students that were behavioral, and the way that they just handle the students, the time, the attention, the communication. I'm just like, I'm very impressed. And then again, you know, I haven't been around school about it so long, believe it or not. But I just wanted to commend them publicly, since they happen to be here, that they are doing an amazing job. So that's, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
well, it was a great comment, thank you. Okay, so, end of the year, last official board meeting of our school year, and it has been a great year. We're wrapping it up, and I just, as always, want to impress upon the fact, the lasting impact that the teachers and all of the staff at all three buildings have on our kids and our community. You know, when you talked about all of the things, that we come to celebrate at the board, all of the kids, all the awards, none of that would happen if we didn't have staff to be there in those after-school programs to support those students. So having that is amazing. It's amazing to come here and see so many kids celebrated and loving school. And that's what it's all about. But that doesn't happen without the supportive environment that every single staff member is creating for the kids, everyone who's around. And having those staff who are willing to run those clubs, you know, a new mathlete, you know, person taking over mathletes, amazing. So all of those things, it's just those little extra things. And just as a parent of a kindergartner, my daughter's first time doing the ABC countdown, I love every day her level of excitement, getting up, putting on these little outfits, all the stuff that we have to figure out. It just really makes them engaged at the end of the year at the buildings. You know, the art show is tomorrow. We've got the wax museum coming up. Like, there's just still so many great things to keep them vested at the end of the year. And we all know, I'm a teacher. no one, there, a lot of people want to pull the plug on the year right now. They want to check out, and the little ones, like, they're excited. It's hot. They want to play, but I love that we have these things that make them want to be here, want to come, want to see who else is dressed up like them. And I just, again, thanks. I know I speak for the whole board that we are so appreciative of all the things that each and every staff member does for our children and the impact it has on our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. All right, we are going to look for to adjourn to closed session for the purpose of the discussion of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. However, a meeting to consider an increase in compensation to a specific employee of a public body that is subject to the local government wage increase Transparency Act may not be closed and shall be open to the public and posted and held in accordance with this act as defined in the Open Meetings Act, Section 2C1. The discussion of collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees as described in Section 2C2. The purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired as defined in Section 2C5. The discussion of pending or probable and imminent litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the district as defined in Section 2C11. And the discussion of minutes of prior meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act as defined in Section 2C21 for the purpose of review, approval, or release of such minutes. We will not have any discussion on security measures or student discipline during this closed session.
I'll make a motion. Second. Aye. Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Earl.